2020 continues. Once again, Barbara Walters.
Now the talk show host that some people love and some love to hate. Bill O'Reilly has gotten rich and powerful, taking on politicians and personalities and just ordinary people, telling them how he sees the world and how they should. His new book, just published, titled Culture Warrior, continues that cocksure tradition. Bill O'Reilly has been called a lot of things, the kindest of which may be what he calls himself. Meet the blabbermouth.
Caution, you are about to enter the no-spin zone.
Bill O'Reilly's no-spin zone can set your head spinning. He takes no prisoners.
I don't know what you're suggesting. I don't think you have a clue on
For
how...
10 years now, 5 nights a week, O'Reilly has been perfecting a formula of confrontation.
Hey, Captain, very simple, okay?
Opinion.
The far left in America is dominated by haters.
And arched eyebrows that draws cable television's biggest audience.
The #1 show that dominates cable news.
His viewers are a fraction of those that watch network newscasts, but they are committed and responsive.
I get 10,000 letters a week. Must be my charm, sir.
O'Reilly invented his nightly program after tours of duty in the more conventional news departments of CBS and ABC.
Yeah, we do know. All the people in Hayden Lake and all those
Conventional was never his style.
Bill O'Reilly.
All right, you bet.
He's expanded the O'Reilly brand to a 2-hour-a-day radio program and to a prolific output of books. This is number 6. People, be surprised that you're a suburban daddy. Bill O'Reilly leaves the culture war at work. At 57, he has successfully reconciled his pride in a blue-collar background with the fruits of success.
I'd hop out in a kayak and just kind of paddle down there about a half mile and then paddle back.
He lives on the water in an upscale Long Island community with his wife and 2 young children. Bill O'Reilly is 6 feet 4 inches, and even in repose, he is a formidable culture warrior. You call yourself Tea Warrior. I'm going to call you T from now on. Okay, T?
Yeah, traditional warrior, tea warrior.
Okay, so listen, T. What you keep talking about is a war on our culture. What is the culture war?
The culture war is pitting traditional Americans, and those are Americans who believe the country is noble. The United States is a noble country. We do make mistakes, but inherently we're noble. All right? Those are traditional Americans against secular progressives, SPs, who believe the country is fundamentally flawed and needs a drastic overhaul in social mores, in economics, in foreign policy, all of those things. So it's the traditionalists who really want to keep the country pretty much the way it is against the SPs who want drastic change.
Well, a good deal of the country is conservative, or what you would call traditional. So why is there such a big war? These SPs, and, according to you, they're not really getting anywhere.
They control the media. And so their message is gets out far more than a traditional message. You give nations an excuse to backstab us by
when we pointed out that he has one of the loudest voices in the media, O'Reilly said that he and his fellow traditionalists were outnumbered.
You wouldn't have the debate over saying, under God and the Pledge of Allegiance. You wouldn't have gay marriage when overwhelmingly Americans are against that without the support of the media. So the media is really the balancing agent here between the 20% of Americans who are secular progressives and about 60% who are traditionalists.
And you have to fight this, T?
I got to expose it.
Do you support a particular political party?
I vote all over the map. And I feel sorry for Bush, because Bush found himself in a position that nobody can anticipate and has made a lot of mistakes. And now the American public, I think, has lost confidence in the president.
When will we have a female president? How would you feel about President Hillary Clinton?
My problem with Senator Clinton is that she doesn't answer questions. What would you do in Iraq? What would you do with Al-Qaeda? If you don't answer the questions, I'm against you.
On attack journalism.
O'Reilly has gotten into some nasty public arguments with those who disagree with him. Author and commentator Al Franken, for example.
He tries to make me out
No,
to be a liar.
no.
Hey,
That's
shut up.
You had your 35 minutes. Shut up.
We thought we'd check his pulse on a few more public figures. Let's go through some other names. Donald Rumsfeld, Defense Secretary.
You know, war is a performance business, and Iraq's a mess. Now, I think he's a patriot. I think he did the best he could. Not working.
Vice President Dick Cheney.
He's afraid to come on the program. Flat out won't. For the same reason that Hillary won't. He's going to sit in a chair, and I'm going to go, hey. And he doesn't want that.
Bill Clinton.
Brilliant. I think he did a good job as president. Had a little problem with the honesty deal. That gave me pause. But his presidency was successful.
And then we asked the no spinmeister about a few people who mixed it up with him. Jon Stewart.
Stewart, look, he's just an entertainer, Stewart. I go on a show, I give him jazz, he gives me jazz.
I don't know if you know this, but they never found weapons of mass destruction.
What's the matter with you?
No, you buying into this left-wing line.
Gee, you pinhead. If you think
He knows his choir's on the left. A bunch of stoned-out college kids watching him.
I watch him. I'm not a stoned-out college kid.
But didn't you used to be? I heard that about you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Would have added to my reputation. David Letterman. He said you were full of crap.
Yeah.
we can check that with the cat.
I have the feeling about 60% of what you say is crap.
You got to understand that Letterman, Leno, Stewart, all of these guys are in it for the yucks, the laughs. That's what they're in it for.
You know, I talked to you, Bill, in your beautiful home. You have a lovely wife. You have 2 adorable kids. And yet you say that you are bitter? What's the gripe?
Well, I don't have a personal gripe. I mean, I'm the most controversial broadcaster in the country. So with the controversy comes death threats on a daily basis, not only from kooks, but the FBI came in and warned me and a few other people at Fox News that Al-Qaeda had us on a death list. That's a little disconcerting.
Do you ever say to yourself, with a wife and 2 kids, is it worth it?
Oh, yeah. I say that all the time. There is a certain amount of things that I have to take because I'm a blabbermouth. All right, I'm a big mouth and controversial. So I understand there's a certain amount of stuff that I have to take. But when it goes over a line, and then when I have to have round-the-clock protection and, you know, a lot of this kind of stuff, you absolutely go home and say, is it worth it? Up to this point, it is.
Mm-hmm. Bill, what do you want your legacy to be?
When I'm dead, on my tombstone, we'll read, he finally stopped talking.
When we come back.